I remember one time I tried NoFap, you know, going day one, no porn, no masturbating, and you count your days, and then on day 14 you have a wank, you mess up, you're back to day zero. Go another 21 days, you're back to day zero. I remember doing this, and the up and down of emotions. Oh, you got to 14 days. Oh, just like that, you're back to day zero. Oh, you're up to 21 days. Man, back to day zero. That emotional roller coaster that you're experiencing, it didn't help me. And it got to the point where I got so angry that I think I went almost 6 months without doing it. And I did it again. And that was like shattering. So I just quit. I was like, whatever. I give it up. I went for 6 months and I did it again. Looking back on it, hindsight's 2020. So looking back at it, it was obviously a dumb mistake. I went 6 months. It was great that I went that far, and that I'd practiced self-control that much to the point where I could go 6 months without watching porn or jerking off. But when I did it that one time, one simple mistake wiped out all my progress. I don't think this is the best way to stop jerking off, to stop porn. I think NoFap is kind of a gimmick. I don't think it works that way, in the sense that you went 14 days, back to day zero if you did it. You went 21 days, back to day zero. You went 35 days, back to day zero. If you're a guy, an average guy, you probably wank as much as 2 times a day, to maybe even more, to a couple times a week. If you're an average guy. So, and you've been doing this your whole life, and watching porn. So, if you have been doing this for, let's say, 5, 10 years, you think you're going to rewrite your brain and be perfect just like that? Just by making a decision? No fap today. I'm going to go 100 days without fapping. And if I do it once, my progress is done. I don't think that is a very fruitful way of going about this. It's not going to get you the results you want personally, I don't think. I think because if someone goes from fapping a couple of times a week to going 14 days without fapping and then doing it once, that is a huge win. That is a huge win in the life of someone who's trying to quit porn and masturbating. If you can decide from day one and then go 14 days, that is huge. But the NoFap community says, oh, you did it that one day, back to day zero. That's kind of like a punishment, is it not? You just went 14 days without fapping, which you probably haven't done maybe your whole life the first time you get on NoFap, and you do it once in 14 days and you're back to day zero. That doesn't make sense to me. If you go 14 days without fapping, you're not back to day zero. People on day zero are the guys that haven't even tried NoFap. You're not on the same level as them. You already went a level up because you went 14 days without doing it. And you did it once. You should almost be rewarded for that. You should almost be like, or you should feel like, damn, I did this. I went 2 whole weeks without fapping, without watching porn, which I haven't done my whole life. How is that a loss? How is that once you do it just once, you're back to day zero? That makes no sense to me. It makes absolutely no sense to me. And again, maybe my views will change on this in the future, but from my experience and from just basic psychology and how the brain works with reward and punishment, that is progress to me. And to say that you're back at day zero makes no sense. That's the mindset that got me back into doing porn after I went 6 months without doing it. Bro, 6 months, that is a long ass time. And I did it once in that 6 months. And so just because of that, I'm back to day zero. I'm back on the same day as someone who faps twice a day and is just about to start NoFap. That makes zero sense to me. The way I would go about this, so if you're asking, oh, so what's the alternative? If you ask me, it's to, first you need to make that decision that you're gonna try to quit this, and that you actually want to quit this. You need to come to that realization. You can't just say it. You have to come and actually think about it. Just take 10 minutes from everything. No talking to anyone. Get off your phone. Go into a dark room and just think for 10 minutes. Don't get distracted. Start playing with something else. Literally just think for 10 minutes. do I want to do this? I think most people would come to the conclusion that they want to quit porn and quit masturbating, right? But you need to come to that conscientious decision that I don't want to do this anymore. You can't just kind of fling it and say, okay, yeah, I'm not going to do it. So do that, and then once you make that decision, you start. You're on day 0, day 1, whatever. You try to go as far as you can without fapping or masturbating. It could be 2 weeks, it could be 1 day, and then you do it on accident. But that doesn't affect your course. You don't go back to day 0. You're okay, I did it. I'm not going to try it again. I'm going to keep going and going. Okay, maybe now you go 2-3 days, you do it again. You're still making progress though. That's good. Don't do it again. You go 5 days without doing it. You do it again. Okay, that's fine. You go 7 days. You go a whole week without doing it. Then you do it again. That's fine. Then let's say you go only 6 days. You regress, but not really because you're still trying not to do it. Then you go 2 weeks. Then you go a month. Then you go several months. Then you go a year without doing it. It's just a lifestyle. It's gonna take time to rewrite your brain into thinking into not doing that, you know? You've been watching porn and jacking off for the longest time. You're not going to just snap your fingers overnight like Thanos and just everything's going to change. So it takes time and it takes consistency. It takes every day just trying not to do it, and eventually you'll get there. You're going to fail, you're going to make multiple mistakes, so that's fine. It's okay to make mistakes. That's why I think NoFap the NoFap community is so bullshit. I think they have good intentions, but I don't think they're going about this in the right way. Especially because when I was explaining that, I was thinking, when you're on NoFap, right, and you go 7 days without doing it, a whole week, you have a lot of seed you want to release, and you do it once. Since you're back on day 0, why not? And seriously, answer this if you're watching this and you're being honest with yourself. If you've done this before, if you've been on NoFap, you go, let's say, a substantial amount of time, more than you're used to, let's say a week. Let's say your first week, you go a week, and then you do it. Okay, so you're back to day 0. And since I'm back on day 0, you think, why don't I get a couple more jerk-offs in? Why don't I get a couple more wanks in? And then I'll start on day 0. Because I need to get as much out as I can, because then I'll be ready to go even more. Think of the thought process, and if you've thought of that, I know a lot of people have. I know I did. It's okay, I'm back on day 0, might as well get out as many as I can, and then I'm gonna go back. I literally, my brain justified doing it multiple times just to get back on, because I'm back on day 0, so why not, right? Your brain actually justifies that you should do it multiple times, and it doesn't work that way. It does not work that way. So again, I have my thoughts on NoFap. I think it's kind of bullshit. I think my way is better. Just to stop making effort, okay? I've tried this since probably the beginning of this year or late last year, and have I completely stopped it? No. But I don't do it that often anymore. I used to do it multiple times a day. I was bad. In 2022, 2021, I was doing it a lot. I do it now a couple times a week, maybe. I don't even know. I don't really even keep track, honestly. So that's where you want to get. I don't think NoFap works, and please comment down below what you think of my opinion. If you agree, if you disagree, I'm really open to input on this topic anyway.